Well, I'm delighted to say joining me on the set, two members of the Cali Condors and actually siblings, Caeleb and Sherridon Dressel. Guys, it's great to have you here. Thank you for sparing some time, first of all. Now, I want to delve into your family background because you guys are super close and there are actually 4 siblings and you're all such high achievers in swimming. Tell me a little bit, Caeleb, first of all, what it was like growing up in the Dressel household.
Yes, so there's 4 of us. I'm the third. I got an older brother, older sister, and then a younger sister. I feel like we got along for the most part. We had
the most part?
Yeah, that's right. Let me get to that. Okay. Nowadays, we're all good to go. Everything's civil. There's peace within the household. But growing up, it was me and Caitlin would gang up on Sherridon. So Sherridon was the oddball out. So I guess me and Caitlin were really the mean ones.
The gruesome twosome.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I've never gotten that. Yeah, and then me and Sherridon didn't really become friends until probably late high school. So we've been friends for a couple years now.
A couple of years. And how is the friendship blossoming here at ISL?
It's been great. It's been nice having Sherridon. She's actually my next door neighbor in the hotel, yeah. I guess you can say. So it's been nice. I bugged her every now and then, but it's nice having family along with me. Mm-hmm. I get homesick a lot.
Really?
I'm a big mama's boy. I like being around my mom and my dad. But anytime I get back from a big meet, usually I'm only gone for maybe 3-4 weeks for Worlds or Olympics, and then all I want to do when I'm done is go home and see my parents, to be honest. Mm-hmm. So it's nice having Sherridon. Just having some piece of family with me is good. We all love each other. We're a very close family. I know that's probably a cliche thing to say, but we all genuinely love going home, seeing each other. If one of us goes home, we'll text, be like, hey, does anyone else want to come home this weekend to hang out with mom and dad? So it's nice having that. When we're all in the same household, it's that much more special because we don't get it as often. So I know it's absolutely killing my mom that she can't be here in Budapest to watch us swim, because she's the one who wants to make every dual meet, and I'm the one who's telling her, like, yo, just relax, like, don't come watch this swim meet. Like, I would have liked to have her here, but there's no spectators. But even those little meets throughout the season, I'm like, Mom, don't, like, just stop.
So Sherridon, you're holding him together, are you?
I hope so. I mean, I feel the same way with him. This is definitely the longest meet I've ever been on, so it's comforting knowing that he's one right next door, and just having family along with definitely helps.
Well, what was it like growing up being the baby of the Dressel family?
I just wanted to fit in with the older crowd. They always had their friends over, so I was always just trying to hang out and kind of be part of the group, but they did not want that.
Give me an example. What kind of stuff did you do?
Oh, just,
yeah, go ahead.
It wasn't anything.
Dish the dirt.
I guess just pranks and stuff. I don't know. We just didn't like her that much.
Most of it was harmless, but I know I was annoying. I mean, the youngest one trying to fit in with the older guys, like, I know I got annoying.
But there's only like 6 years between oldest youngest, right? There's not a big age gap.
What is
I
Tyler,
don't even know
28?
how old Tyler is.
You're 21?
22.
You're 22?
20, yeah, I was like,
yeah, 6 years. Yeah, you know better than we do. Yeah, Tyler's 22. Yes, 6 years. Yeah.
To have 4 kids as high achieving as all of you guys, to be going to the swimming pool every single morning, I'm sure, before, during, after school, and then you guys are super sporty out with swimming as well. What kind of role have they played? Because they must have been instrumental in your careers.
Oh, they've been huge. I mean, my mom was driving me to practice even after I got my license to drive because I was too big a baby I wanted to sleep on the way to practice. So, like, little things like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
The older I've gotten, the more I've realized how much they've done for me in my career, and it's never about. It's never dependent on how fast I swim. I had a meet in Japan in 2018. I did pretty bad, and they came out and watched, and I told them, I was like, hey, I'm sorry that I sucked, that I didn't get to really put on a show for you. And my dad was like, oh, like, we don't care. We're proud of you no matter what. Mm-hmm. I wanted to cry just hearing them say that. They're just proud of me for, trying to chase my goals, my purpose in life. So that's really all that matters to them. They just want us to do our best, really, and have fun with what we're doing.
Yeah. And Sherridon, what about you watching your siblings swim as well? What was that like for you? Because that must have given you so much inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've always looked up to them since I was little, even though they didn't always want me around at times, but they've been a huge part of, like, my life and swimming career. So, I mean, not only do I look up to Caeleb as, like, an older brother, but also a teammate. There's a certain, like, energy that he brings, and he just makes me feel at ease. Like, we love to goof off. We both have super, like, goofy personalities, so it's very comforting, kind of puts you at ease at meets. And I think, like, my parents have definitely always taught us to enjoy the moment, just be present, and Caeleb really helps with that, just kind of taking a step back, not only worrying about swimming, but just enjoying it while you're being here. So it definitely helps like with having fun and just being present in the moment.
Well, Caeleb, that's something that you pioneer, is living in the moment with your piece by piece. Why is that so important to you?
I think it's huge. It's really easy, especially in the sport, to get caught up in every 4 years is really the pinnacle of the sport. Mm-hmm. So with how I see results, and I think how everyone will see results, is piece by piece and day by day, minute by minute. What are you doing in practice to really take advantage of the 2 hours you have in the pool time, and then the food you're eating when you get back from practice? Are you capitalizing on that? Are you taking care of your body? What are your extracurricular activities? So there's just a whole array of variables that go into the sport, and it's not just swimming, and it's not just, oh, I want to go to the Olympics, and you saying it over and over again. It's really what you're doing, and how much are you obsessing over it to put every piece you possibly can in the right position to optimize what you're capable of doing. So it's been a really fun challenge and a puzzle, and that's really my favorite part about the sport, is the challenge that it brings. Like, because really, who cares if you swim fast? So it's really just dependent on the season. But right here, it's not about time. It's just about racing tough.
Well, you guys are used to being teammates at Florida University. You were on the same team there, and now you're teammates here at ISL. This is your debut, Sherridon. What's it like being teammates? Because it must be really fun to be able to have each other, you know, backstage and give each other words of support.
Yeah, I mean, even going into Florida, I knew like I wanted to be on a team that felt like family. So having family on that team was actually a huge component of that. And same with this. Most siblings probably wouldn't want to be around each other for this long, but I was looking forward to this meet the whole time.
Not when you were younger, anyway.
Yeah, maybe not when we were younger, but I've been looking forward to this meet and having this opportunity, especially having Caeleb here, has meant the world. And I was so excited. I mean, because I have him on the team, but also just because I get to be part of such a incredible team like the Condors.
What's it like being Caeleb's sister? Because what you've achieved, Caeleb, is absolutely fantastic. What's it like being the young one, thinking this is what I want to go for as well?
Yeah, I mean, I have him to look up to. I've tried to kind of make my own name for myself, kind of not get caught up in being Caeleb's little sister.
Of course.
I'm always going to be his little sister. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think I've tried, especially throughout my college career, to kind of go my own path and make my own name for myself. But it's definitely, there's nothing wrong with following in his footsteps and having that great influence and example set ahead of me. But I mean, I love being Caeleb's little sister, but I also like having kind of my own name for myself.
Well, something I read that I found really interesting about you guys was within your family, you don't actually speak much about swimming. No. Is that really the truth?
Yeah. My parents really don't know much about the sport at all. I think that's what kept me in the sport. I really struggled with it when I was a kid. I'd get bored with it. I'd go play soccer. I'd go play football. I'd run track. Like, I just would get bored of things. I'm still like that. It's just my personality. So I think that's what has kept me in the sport so long, is because I bounce around with hobbies and stuff like that. But as a kid, my parents never forced me to swim. If I didn't like it, I just would change sports. The only rule was you had to be in a sport. They didn't care what it was. So that helped a lot, not having crazy swim parents. I think it was a huge implementation into my career and where I'm at now, because I wasn't pushed at inappropriate times. As a 12-year-old, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So if I didn't like swimming that week, let's go play soccer or football. And my parents were totally on board with that. And I think it's very, very important, especially for kids nowadays, because crazy swim parents, they ruin a lot for kids and they burn them out.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you ever got to the stage where, because it's such a commitment, giving your life to a sport, have you ever got to the point where you're like, do you know what, I don't want to do this anymore?
Oh yeah, I mean, probably this morning.
Yeah, I was like, there's moments like that in probably every practice where you just get tired of it and you kind of just mentally check out, but then you remember your purpose, you remember the goals, you remember how much time and effort you've put into it, and you just kind of have to find the joy again.
Well, Caeleb, you talked just there about other sports and playing other sports, and somebody told me that you learned how to backflip during quarantine. Is this part of the new sport situation, or? I
don't know. I do. I always enjoy a good challenge. I made this list in high school of it was like a bucket list, but of like personal things I wanted to do, and backflip was on there. So over quarantine, I guess I just kind of like went for it. Yeah, I just kind of went for it.
And you achieved it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Brilliant. Not surprising.
Yeah.
Overachiever. But Sherridon, what about you during lockdown as well? Because was it nice to spend lots of family time together, and what did you learn over that time? Because it must have been extremely different, because you guys are so used to training, going to meets, and then suddenly it's you know, stay at home, spend some time with the family?
I mean, it definitely taught me to be still and just kind of like be by myself a little bit, because you couldn't go out, you couldn't go to training 4 hours a day. So we go from, you know, 100% twice a day to not being able to do anything. So I use that time to kind of journal a little bit more, do like mindful activities like yoga or something like that. I would FaceTime a lot of my friends, which sounds bad, but I usually don't do that. So it kind of just taught me to be still, again, be present in other areas of my life rather than just, you know, focusing on swimming all the time, which I was still thinking about it a lot because I never thought I would miss the sport, but I really did. Like, I missed waking up early, I missed waking up and going to practice, seeing my teammates. So it's definitely kind of an eye-opener to how much swimming actually meant.
Have you guys struggled with motivation in any way? Because I guess during quarantine, it's a time where nobody knew when everything would start up again. And for sports men and women, it's all about training to compete at something or for something. And obviously it was an Olympic year as well, and that didn't happen. Did you guys at any point struggle with the fact that you thought, oh, what am I training for? Or when can I get back to it?
Yeah, I think here and there at some parts, but I think exactly what Sherridon said. You know, if I can't be in the water, I had limited pool time just like everybody else. If I can't be in the water, I want to use this time to try to get ahead in other activities in my life where swimming may have been in the way. So like perfecting those habits where swimming may have been taking up a little too much time. So perfecting habits and then moving on from there. And then once we get back in normal routine, taking what I learned from quarantine and taking those habits and putting it back in my normal routine. So I feel like there was a lot of good with the whole quarantine situation. It just depends what your perspective was. If you're going to fall behind or if you're actually going to pick yourself up and look for ways to improve. You don't have to be in a pool to get better at swimming. Yeah. Of course, it helps. But yeah, there was a lot of things I took from quarantine and implemented them into what my routine is now.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I have to say it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here on the set, to actually delve into your family side of things, not just chat about what you do in the pool, because it's all about personalities as well. You guys, it's been fantastic to have you here, and I wish you all the very best from the rest of ISL.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.